What's going on, everybody? Welcome. And today I want to talk about something very important, more important than people realize, and it is surrounding the news. It's not new news now, but it's news that Jay-Z has become the first hip hop billionaire, and I want to talk about that significant feat in the context of hip hop, not just in finance, but just in context of hip hop and one of the major significance of this accomplishment. And I also want to dispel a myth, which I'll do now. Many people are are confused about the news that Jay-Z became a billionaire because people are saying that, well, wait a minute, wasn't Dr. Dre the first billionaire in hip hop? And anyone who understands finances and understands economics and just money in general, or have a little bit of knowledge about it, will understand why he is not the first hip hop billionaire. Okay? Or about investments and all that stuff. And I'll talk about that now. Dr. Dre is not the first billionaire because when Beats by Dre was sold for $3.2 billion, people assumed that that entire $3.2 billion was going to Dr. Dre. That's where the confusion comes in. And that is also why there should be such an emphasis placed on financial literacy. I mean, you ain't gotta be an expert, but you gotta know a little something about at least a remedial course about finances. When you invest in something, when you create something, or when you put a portion of money into something, and that something, whatever that product is, it grows. Okay, and whatever amount you put into that particular product, only the amount that you put into it will grow for you. Okay? So if you put 1% of a particular amount into a company and that company grows, only the 1% that you put in will grow. But only that 1% that you put in will grow. So unless you put 100% of the money into something, unless you did that, that's the only way. If Dr. Dre put 100% of the amount for Beats by Dre, right? If he funded the entire thing and it grew and sold for 3.2 billion, then he would get the 3.2 billion. However, he did not get the 3.2 billion because he did not put that amount into it to reap that benefit. Also, when you and someone else or a group of people put money into something, whatever your portion is, when that product or that thing is sold, you will get the increase on the amount that you put into it for. So whatever Dr. Dre put into it for, his amount grew, but he wasn't the only one that invested into Beats by Dre. Jimmy Iovine invested. LeBron James invested. People forget that LeBron James also, I think he made 32, I think he profited $32 million when Beats by Dre was sold. Okay? I think he probably like 32 or $38 million he got back when Beats by Dre was sold. So Beats by Dre, actually it's now Beats because Dre is the name is off. But Beats has been sold for 3.2 billion. Okay, that does not mean that Dr. Dre gets 3.2 billion. That's why he's not a billionaire. Okay, that's as simple as that. That's basic investing 101. Whatever percentage you put in, when that product grows and it is sold, or whenever you decide to take your money out of that particular product, whatever growth you have accumulated and your percentage, that's what you get back. Okay, that's how that goes. Now, back to Jay-Z being a billionaire. Him becoming a billionaire, or even becoming a multimillionaire, such as people like Puff Daddy or Dr. Dre himself, or just here is that I don't think people in hip hop are really understanding. There's a pattern to building wealth. There's a pattern to this. You gotta think. You take Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, Puff Daddy, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, the Waltons, people who own the Walmart. What do they all have in common? They have a few things in common. They all started. I'll include Bill Gates in this too. They all started, whether they had inheritance or whether they are self-made. What they all have in common is that they all produced a product that they worked on for X amount of years until that product, was able to build some cachet and build some revenue. And then after their product got to a certain point, they were able to leverage. Very important word, leverage. That word is a very, very powerful word to understand when it comes to finances. It's probably the least in hip hop. It may be one of the least understood words. People mistake status for leverage. No, 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 no. Status and leverage are not the same. Status is your position at a certain point. Okay, that how people see you, your status. Okay, leverage is how you are able to use your status to gain something. Okay, whatever you want to gain, that's what it is. Jay-Z was able, because Jay-Z is first and foremost a musician, rapper, MC. Okay, he's a musician. Before he was, he's done other things prior, and I'll put that in there too. Yes, it is true. Jay-Z was a drug dealer. That is correct. That is factual. He was a drug dealer. He used his money along with Dame Dash and Kareem Biggs Burke, the other two members of Rockefeller. They put their money together, okay, and they were able to leverage their drug money into building their record company called Rockefeller Records, okay? And they used the skills and talents of Jay-Z as a rapper MC to gain leverage, along with they used the business sense of all three to leverage more business and more funding to help their company, Rockefeller Records, grow. And whatever help they did not get, whatever help they did not get, they used their money to make it happen. Okay? If someone won't give you something, you make it. Okay? That way you control and own it, and you do with it whatever you see fit. Now, once the three gentlemen were able to leverage Rockefeller Records, they took that leverage. Keep in mind, I'm using the same word, leverage. They took the leverage that they have gained from Rockefeller Records and the music of Jay-Z and other artists, And they were able to do something else that other billionaires and other multimillionaires do. This is all something that it's a common thread. Once you have established yourself in one particular field, what you would do is another key word. Along with leverage, you have another powerful word. It's called diversify. Diversify, meaning doing different things alongside your primary means of income. Okay? So yeah, Rockefeller Records, then they said, okay, well, we want to do something else along with Rockefeller Records. And it was in the realm of clothing. And they did so because other companies wouldn't want to partner with them in terms of clothing. So they said, you know what, we will start our own clothing line that we will own and control. Do you see a theme here? It's a common theme here. Okay? And once they were able to start Rockaware, which is their clothing line, now you have two major streams of income. Another key important word or words. Streams of income. Plural. Streams. Streams of income. Now you have two. Now you have Rockefeller Records and you have Rockaware. You say, okay, now what are the things that are talked about most in rap? It's a very aggressive, somewhat braggadocious genre of music. You like to talk about things that are flashy, jewelry, women, alcohol, partying, all that stuff, right? That's what it's talked about. So they said, okay, everything that is talked about in rap, why not either partner with someone or make our own brand of that thing? So if rappers love clothing, but the clothing companies won't work with them, so they make their own clothing. Rappers love to talk about the drinks that they buy, but nobody would work with them, so they made their own. Armadale Vodka, who remembers that? And they will also promote other brands and try to work with them, but it wouldn't work. See, case in point, Cristal. Wouldn't do Cristal, so okay, say fine. Cristal doesn't think that hip hop should be buying their alcohol. All right, fine. You don't want to work with us? We'll make our own. Or we'll buy our own. All right? Now, do you see a pattern? The pattern is leverage, diversify, and streams of income. Let's take another case outside of Jay-Z. How about Amazon? Amazon, or you know what? No. How about Facebook? Facebook started as a means for basically people to communicate and connect socially, hence social media. Okay, that is the main goal. The main goal is communication, technology. All right, that's the main thing. Now you say, okay, we have basically old friends can find each other, friends can find friends, all this good stuff. Now, once Facebook became popular, Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, and the likes did something that other people do. They diversified. These bugs are. Facebook did more. They bought up other companies. They diversified. They got into content making. Okay? Like YouTube did the same thing. YouTube was basically a means for people to make content and to play videos. It went from playing videos to making content. It went from making content to music to streaming. Now you have multiple streams of income. Is a pattern to this. You have the main product. First, step one, establish the main product. Step two, once the main product has been established, use your leverage. That's step two. Leverage is step two. Use your leverage to build clientele, to build reputation, to build a brand. Once you have built your brand, step 3, diversify. Do other things within and outside of your main talent and skill. Okay? Now, Jay-Z doesn't do media. However, he bought a media company, Tidal. Okay? Now he can put his own content and content of others on his streaming platform. Jay-Z bought Ace of Spades. Okay? He has gotten into real estate, which is also another key thing. Every single multimillionaire and billionaire has invested in real estate. Every single one. Every single one. So that must tell you something. That must tell you that, it's not a mistake that all of the people who are rich and wealthy invest in real estate. They buy real estate. Okay? Also, they invest in other companies. They buy stocks in other companies. Every single multimillionaire and billionaire across the world invests in other companies. Warren Buffett invests in Coca-Cola. He is well known. Well known he does that. So here's the thing. If you want some of the keys to success in terms of becoming financially free and financial literacy, here's what you can do. Find all of the multimillionaires and billionaires that you know and find out what did they do that they all have in common. What do they all have in common? What does Jay-Z, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, the Waltons, what do they all have in common? 1, real estate. 2, they always invest in something new that goes on with the times. Right now, we are in the technological age, the age of social media. We have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tidal, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, all that stuff. People, those same multimillionaire and billionaires I just named, invest in all of them. So what you can do is you can find out how much does it cost to buy a share of any of those companies. You love clothes and you love shoes. You love Nike. Find out how much it costs to buy a share in Nike, and then invest in that. Or if you love technology, find out the new technological app or something like that, or company that's coming up. Invest in that, and sit on that, because that's what they all do. They buy these things and then they just sit on them while they're still making money from their previous interests. Jay-Z is still making money from his music. Also, own your content. All of these multimillionaires and billionaires, they own the content. That way, if you own your content, you can license it off, another key word, license it off to other companies. That way, they will pay you to use your intellectual property. Whether they actually made the intellectual property or not, when you buy intellectual property, you can license it to whomever you please, and they will pay you to use it. All of the multimillionaire and billionaires do this. So obviously, there are some recurring themes in this. Investing, real estate, technology, but also some streams of income, diversifying. Okay? It all comes from these things. So Jay-Z becoming a billionaire, he did the exact same thing that every other multimillionaire and billionaire has done for hundreds of years. This is not new. This is not new. Throughout history, every multimillionaire and billionaire has done the exact same things. They establish their main focus. Once that main focus has been established, they diversify, and they have multiple streams of income. They invest, and they take that capital, they take that money, and they just keep investing. If you take all the multimillionaire and billionaires and you find out what percentage of their money do they put their things in? the majority of their money that they invest in comes from investing. The majority of it, like 60% of like Warren Buffett's portfolio is investing alone. Same thing with Jay-Z. The majority of his money went into investing in himself and in other companies. And then that money grows over time. So whenever he takes that money out, it is triple, quadruple, quintuple, sextuple, septuple, octuple times over the amount that he put it in. So that tells you, there's a common theme to wealth. There's a trend to wealth building. Real estate. They buy real estate. Why do they buy real estate? Ask that question. Why do they buy real estate? Why do they buy things like art? All these things are assets. Look up the word asset and look up the word liability. All right? Pay attention to these words. These things they're not mistakes. Wealth building is a science. It is not a fluke. People think that building, like having billions of dollars, is a fluke. No, it's not a fluke. If it was a fluke, it would only happen once. But there are billionaires all over the world, and there are multimillionaires all over the world who have gotten these riches the same way. So it tells you that there's obviously a method. Find out what the methods are. Follow the method. Start off where you are. Take a little bit of money and start from there. All right, and you use your leverage, diversify, all that. All right, so that's really in this, and especially like in the realms of hip hop, we have a lot of rappers who talk about their wealth and riches, but in actuality they don't have it, or they're getting robbed for millions of dollars because they don't know how to actually leverage their music to help them, to benefit them throughout their life or their children's life. So there's a method to this. And Jay-Z, being from hip hop, and we all know his rise, we all know his story. He has literally made a blueprint, no pun intended, and pun intended, to becoming a billionaire. Now we have someone in our midst who has reached that billionaire status. We have a lot of multimillionaires, we have a lot of single millionaires, but now we have an official billionaire. And now we have the blueprint. Now we have the keys. And now we have something to follow. Like he said before, don't follow me, follow my moves. Pay attention to that. All right? Catch you all later. Peace.